It's been an interesting run because in many ways the deck was stacked against us. When I took office, the state had budget problems and public higher education was being cut. Of course, the demographic changes. So there have been lots of financial challenges. But I think the key to the success of this institution is that we developed a plan that was right for Illinois State and that made sense in the marketplace. Like any business, you try to find a niche that allows you to exploit your strengths. And in the case of Illinois State, when we were having a debate in the mid-1990s about what direction the institution should go, we coalesced behind a plan that made undergraduate education the center of everything we do. And so we invested in the undergraduate experience, and I think we incorporated a number of key elements that one sees in private universities into our undergraduate experience. And in doing that, it brought us more capable students. It certainly excited donors who were interested in getting involved in the campus. Faculty have been very happy with the quality of the students we've been enrolling over the last 10 years. Those good faculty are very competitive in the grants arena. I think more evidence that we've gotten hiring right is seen in the amount of grant and in the number of grants and sponsored programs that have been funded. In the last 10 years, faculty and staff have been awarded $250 million in grants and contracts. And now we have over 100 faculty members who have accumulated more than $1 million in individual awards. There's some facility goals that I thought I could get accomplished, but the severe recession made it difficult for the state to fund the academic projects that were on the table. I'm very happy that the governor has approved the Fine Arts project. But I thought I could get the library project done before I retired. We've outgrown the library. It really needs to be doubled in space. I know it'll happen eventually, but that was a project that was near and dear to my heart. My happiest memory is learning that the state was releasing the capital dollars for the Schrader Hall project. And in part, that one was personal because I was a new president, and that was my first major building project. It was also important because the campus desperately needed that project to get done. The building was in terrible shape, and lots and lots of complaints from faculty and staff. We had constant problems with the roof leaking. Heating and cooling was a challenge, and so it brought me a great deal of personal satisfaction. And then professionally, it was important because it showed the campus that Illinois State could get big things done, even in a challenging financial environment. The year the Schrader project was released by the state, that was the only higher education capital project that was funded that year. Biggest disappointment is the accumulated erosion of state support for public higher education. Public universities educate the majority of students in this country. Illinois has had a pretty good reputation of supporting public higher education, but it's clear that those priorities have shifted. Now, in part, the priorities have shifted because there are greater demands on the state budget. But it's also very disappointing that at a time in our country's history when educating citizens with advanced training is important to our economic development, we're pulling our investment away from public higher education. And I think we'll pay a price for that down the road if we haven't already. I think we've done a good job of managing our resources. Our strategy has been to keep our long-term debt relatively modest, to fund as many capital projects as we can out of cash reserves. We did that with the Housing and Dining long-range plan. That's a $120 million project to rehab 6 residence halls and 2 dining centers. And we accomplished that goal and only had to borrow about half the dollars that were needed. So I think our position in the marketplace is strong enough that we will continue to thrive in the future. And I think the big challenge for Illinois State is to manage its finances in a world where it's not likely new state dollars are coming, and where the ability to raise tuition will be constrained. But I think that can be done.